Look at that, guys. That's my drone. So what's up? I wanted to talk about cutting calories versus doing cardio, and just my opinion on that. And if I'm trying to do either burn like fat, or if I'm trying to, well, basically if I'm trying to burn fat. And it comes down generally to those two things. Like, they both fucking work. First of all, make sure you subscribe and press that little bell notification. YouTube will notify you when I put out content. And with that, let's get into the video. For me, when I'm cutting, by the way, there will be a new video out later tonight of more posing. If you look back a couple videos ago of posing, say about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, versus the video that I'm about to put out later tonight, it'll probably be out in several hours, because my internet takes a while for shit to upload. But you'll see a tremendous difference in the body composition from a fat standpoint. So what do you like better, cutting calories or doing cardio? My philosophy, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why I believe doing cardio is so much better than cutting calories. And like, obviously there's an extreme, right? Like, if you're at 6,000 calories a day and you're at like a 2,000 calorie surplus, like, you kind of get closer to your maintenance level for it to make sense. Like, if your maintenance level is here, then there's probably like a plus or minus of like, you know what I mean? If your maintenance was 3,000, right? There's probably a plus or minus, at least 500 calories. But if you're, say, if maintenance is 3,000 and you're at 5,000, right? Like, coming back down to 3,500 would make sense. But assuming that you're kind of like in that bracket, like if your maintenance is 3,000 and you're 500 over or 500 under, generally in that range, like where my thinking goes is I would rather do more cardio. And there's two main reasons for that, because doing more cardio, you get two benefits from, right? Doing more cardio not only burns more fat, but you have a cardiovascular system. It's good for your fucking heart, right? Like, it's just common sense. Like, that's the benefit from it. And that is why I like to increase my cardio over cutting the calories. Now, the second reason, which is even more important, so both of them are fucking tremendously important. But I think this one is, if I had to stack them, I would say this one's slightly more important, just from a health. Well, they're both fucking super important, right? They're both kind of equally important. Anyways, the reason I want to do more cardio versus cutting calories, if you're in that band of like plus or minus 500 calories, is because, excuse me, when I do the cardio, completely lost my train of thought. But cutting calories, because we just talked about doing more cardio. Cutting calories reduces the amount of nutrients you get. And you're like, yeah, no fucking shit, Sam. Like, isn't that the fucking point? It is. However, when you reduce your macronutrients, you're also more than likely, depending on how strategic you are about this. So, like, at this point in the game, for me, who's been doing this for a long time, I think about these things. And hopefully now you can start to consider these things. So if you're at 3,000, right, that's your maintenance, and then you've already cut down to 2,500, right? Now you want to drop some more fat, so then you cut from 2,500 down to, say, 2,000 calories, right? And you're a third less than you would be at your maintenance level. Yes, you're going to lose some body fat, but depending if you're going to do a show or what your objectives are, obviously it's super contextual, but you deprive your body from the micronutrients. The micronutrients is going to be what allows your organs and your brain and just your whole entire fucking body to operate at an optimal level. And that includes, like, you're going to reduce your metabolism by cutting those calories. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, you're going to have to do more cardio, right? To burn 500 calories, if you're walking at like 3 miles an hour at a 15 incline, what would that be? Maybe 40 minutes or so of cardio? at 3 miles an hour on an incline on a treadmill at the 15 degrees, probably around 40 minutes ish. So, and I'm being fairly conservative. I think you could, I think you could probably potentially do that in less time. Obviously, you could do it in less time if you sped it up a little bit, but you know what I mean? If you're just going casual, right? 3 miles an hour at the highest incline, you can burn that at 40 minutes. And you're burning the calories, you're using them, but you're not depriving the organs in your body, your brain, just everything in your body from the micronutrients which your body needs to operate at an optimal level, right? Versus cutting from 2,500 to 2,000, you're just taking that shit away. Like, it can't operate that way. You know what I mean? Like running your car on fucking low oil. Does that just sound like a good idea? Because you want it to run at a warmer temperature or something? No, you're gonna fucking damage shit. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's any individual. Like, that's what a lot of people used to do, and a lot of people still fucking do. My personal philosophy is I'd rather do more cardio. I'd rather have my body utilize those micronutrients and keep my metabolism nice and high. I actually potentially, like, if you think about it, if you increase your cardio output and you keep your calories the same, you could potentially burn more calories because your metabolism is going to be higher because you're feeding your body the nutrients you actually need to operate at a more efficient level. So, I mean, and this is obviously coming to me as I'm making this video, but like, it's just common sense, right? So, I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think or what your opinions are on cutting calories versus increasing in cardio. So, obviously, it's going to depend on what your objective is, right? And where you fall on that fucking spectrum, right? As I mentioned, if you're at a huge fucking surplus, depending on what your objective is, you can easily do things to drop that down, and very, very simple things to like get you at like a maintenance level. If you're not sure what your maintenance level is, like Google a maintenance calculator and then just eat whatever it says in the calculator for 2 or 3 weeks and see how you feel. And if you're fucking gaining, then that's too much for you. If you're losing, then that's a little bit too little for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically how you can figure that shit out. It's not that difficult. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Before you go on to the next video, you know that thumbs up button, you gotta press that shit. Or, I mean, if you press the thumbs down button, it's kind of like sitting on a porcupine, where the pokey things of the porcupine like are covered in hot sauce and they fucking burn. So don't press that button if you want porcupine hot sauce.